What up, socialites? Welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
And me, Gaspare Randazzo.
All weekend this weekend, I'm going to be in Tacoma, Washington. Then I'm getting married. Then I'm off for a very long time, thank God. Come see me the first week of August. My new monthly show, My Straight Friends, is at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, California. Then in September, Irvine, San Jose, Sacramento, Charlotte, Charleston, Boston, New York, Winnipeg, Atlantic City, Newark, Toronto, Portland, Maine, Chicago, Atlanta. Get your tickets at thejoedombrowski.com.
I'll be in Philadelphia, Point Pleasant, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Long Island, New York City, Boston, Washington, Tampa, Cleveland, Ohio, Detroit, Manchester, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Staten Island, Freehold, Austin, Dallas, Columbus, Cincinnati, Allentown, Rochester, Manasquan. Get your tickets at GasparRandazzo.com.
Did you forget your name for a second?
No, I was out of breath from eating. When I was young, I always thought that if someone
You
had
are young.
No, when I was young. So speaking of young, you know what a fucking girl said to me yesterday? I said to her, I go, I'm 35 years old. And she goes, I said to the kids, oh, I'll turn 35 this month. She goes, wow, I didn't know you could start balding at 35. So I laughed because it caught me off guard. And I go, I'm not balding. And she goes, oh yeah, I'm sure you told the barber to cut your hair up here. I was like, I laughed and she laughed. And she's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, that was a good one. That was good. Like, if they make me laugh, I don't care about the disses.
I remember I was in high school. There was a kid balding our senior year.
Yeah, it happens.
It was like later. Yeah.
All right. So when I was young growing up, I always thought that like if somebody had a heated pool, that's like a millionaire person thing. No?
Millionaire? No.
Okay.
No.
No one I knew had a heated pool growing up, except like one rich guy, right?
Yeah, pools were very common when I was growing up. We didn't have a heated pool, but a lot of people had heated pools because it really is just a matter of connecting like your gas line to where your pool is. Yeah, it's really not crazy.
So I always thought it was for super rich people. So when we got the pool, they were like, do you want a heater? I'm like, whoa, hell fucking no. And so Melissa's like, well, let's see how much it costs. You know what I mean? And the guy's like trying to sell it to us. Like, he's like, you extend the pool's life for 2 extra months.
Me this.
Which was true. Because like we've been going in the pool since April. Nobody really goes in the pool.
Been.
We've been using the pool every day since, not every day, but like 3 times a week since April. That's not common. And I get that. Anyway, so when we got it, we got an electric heater because he's like, the reason that heaters are expensive is because they use a lot of gas or electricity, whatever you're using, and it will kill your gas and electric. But we have solar energy. We have solar panels on our roof. So he's like, oh, if you have solar panels, it pretty much won't cost you anything. So our electric bill is like $20 a month, if that, right? And that's with us running the air conditioner and the heater on the pool. So a few days ago, we were going to go in the pool today. So I said, oh, we're going to go in the pool. We're recording this right now on a Tuesday. So on Sunday, I was like, let me put the heater on because it's been a little chilly. And we recently got a solar cover. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah, that's all we had growing up was a solar cover on our pool. So like I'd jump in the pool and like the first like 3 inches were warm. That was about it.
Yes. So I had the solar cover on with the heater going. Dude, I lifted the cover today. You might as well have had a heated jacuzzi, a giant jacuzzi. Like we got in, and it's 80 degrees out. We were like, ugh. Like it wasn't like, it was like hot. Like we were like, this is fucking weird.
Right.
And there's really no point to the story except that the water was super hot and we just spent 2 hours in the pool. And then I was like, fuck, I have to record the podcast. So I just ate like a whole rotisserie chicken. And now I'm down here recording.
I don't even know what journey you just took me on, but thank you. Thank you for all that. That was really
impressive. Just to let people know that if you have solar panels, an electric heater is not for millionaires.
Yeah. Also, what's going on in New York? Like I read this article today that's, first of all, do you know what a magnet fisher is?
Magnet fisher?
Apparently there's people in New York who go fishing but instead of a hook at the end, it's a high-powered magnet with a weight on it, so it drags across the water. And if anything's metal, they'll like snag onto it and then reel in whatever it is.
That's
And
smart.
someone in New York, do you know where this body of water is? It's called the Flushing Meadows Corona Park.
Oh, it's in Queens.
Okay. Apparently it's like this
Mafia dumping ground.
water area that was created for the World's Fair in 1964. Anyway, this couple like does this magnet fishing and they latched onto something super heavy and they reeled it in, and I guess they were worried that it was going to like snap their line because it was so heavy. It was a safe. And when they rolled it up, did you hear about this on the news?
I did. Go ahead. I didn't read about it
$100
at
bills,
all.
tons of $100 bills. They opened it up. They had $100,000 from that.
Didn't
thing.
they say the money was water damaged? That it was
Not
good?
water damaged. It was just covered in like muck. They're gonna have to like rinse it and dry it, and it should be okay. But it's just covered in like basically bottom of the lake sludge. I have a picture of it right now.
Oh, but the money's like grimy looking. Like you can't.
Yeah, but it's grimy looking, but definitely fixable.
But is it fixable? Because you know when money
sure.
starts melting together, like, and then you peel it, it's going to deface the bills. And if the bills are defaced, you get what I'm saying?
You can still use defaced bills.
Like,
Have you ever
I'm
gotten a
straight
bill
up
that someone
looking
puts a stamp on?
Yeah, but these are not. That's like these. If you guys Google it, it almost looks like take like a stack of dollars or whatever, any amount of money, and just soak it like underwater, and then like it's like mush. It's like molded in their hands.
I bet they could use this money.
Damn. But can you imagine
Pretty
like
sure.
you were just like, oh, let's go fish, and you found 100 freaking grand. But
That'd
now
be
let's think like,
amazing.
is this money taxable?
God, great question. Like if you just find $100,000, do you have to pay taxes on it?
It's an income that is now very clearly claimed. You get what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. Like magnet fishing is not a job. You know, maybe it is taxable because if you think about it, if they like latched onto an expensive lamp, refurbished it, and then sold it, then their business is like refurbishing things that they magnet fish. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know because, well,
Such
they
adults. Now we're worried about the fucking taxes on this thing. What happened?
All right, but look,
life?
so
Jesus.
I'm reading it, and basically there was no crime associated with it. Like they can't find any evidence that the money was like from a crime. Because that was my next question. Like,
Of
what if it
course.
turns out that this was like John Gotti's money that he like dumped in a river that he stole? You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden, like if you have that money,
It's evidence instead of money.
oh, this is the guy. He's found bicycles, guns, grenades, and jewelry.
Guns for sure. And the guns he should
100%.
turn in. Because you know they're like
Yeah, like
dirty,
why did you
right?
throw a gun in the river? Like I always
Because
think
you
that,
shot
like,
somebody and you didn't want them to have the thing.
yeah, like when people commit a crime, you would think the first place to go is just a river or like a big body of water.
Guys, you know what one of my favorite things to do is? I'll tell you right after this commercial break. Guys, blink if you haven't purchased a Father's Day gift yet. All right, well, actually, don't blink because we can't see it, so don't blink. That's actually irrelevant for us. So just listen, okay? So today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped, okay? The leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Now, maybe your dad hasn't, has the same bush he had since 1970, and that's okay. Maybe you don't want to think about your dad's bush. That's also okay. But listen, you don't got to think about it anymore because our friends over at Manscaped have crafted the total package for his special day. So whether it's for down there, I made the motion, you can't see it, whether it's for down there and you don't want to think about it, or the beard, or, whatever you want to save, Manscaped has all the bases covered. So head over to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with the code STUDIES. Okay, that's free shipping with the code STUDIES. Go from daddy to zaddy. That's daddy with a Z. I personally would never say that. Joe might. That's not my thing to say. So trust Manscaped, okay? Remember, I remember as a kid, like my dad was so hairy, and then I was like, oh, I'll never be hairy. And then I grew up, and then I became hairy, and I was like, oh crap. And then I didn't want to take like a razor and shave because I have all my tattoos on my chest. So I was like, oh, how can I shave them? So then I would shave them with I didn't want stubble, so I would use like an electric razor, but then I never knew like what size to use because then it would cut too short, Manscaped has all of that covered, okay? So your dad, your husband, your brother, whoever, they probably been using the same old beard trimmer forever. Give them an upgrade. Get them something new. Honestly, it's a perfect gift. I would like one because there's things there's just certain hairs that you just can't get with a razor and stuff. So if you want a scruffy beard, they have little, different trims for it. They have all the essential tools that'll help the person get the beard or the hair or whatever they want, okay? This all-in-one kit includes the Beard Hedger, Manscaped's most advanced beard trimmer, along with shampoo, conditioner, oil, and balm for the beard. I don't even know what that word means, but apparently you put some balm stuff in your chin and it makes your beard feel nice. You smell nice. People like that stuff. You also get a brush, a comb, some scissors. You could style the beard. You could trim it, make it look like a true gentleman, Honestly, this is a perfect gift, and I think that they need it. So get 20% off plus free shipping with the code STUDIES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code STUDIES. Never forget where you came from, if you know what I mean. Happy Father's Day from Manscaped.
Now, I have been stupid into true crime lately, like dumb into it. Like I'm watching 4 or 5 cases a week. Okay.
Dateline still?
Dateline and other things. So everyone knows Lacey Peterson, right? Which, by the way, call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm kind of pretty much convinced that Scott Peterson did not kill Lacey Peterson.
Okay, you have
Pretty
to
sure.
refresh me. I don't really know anything about that. Guys, little trigger warning because it's a case about murder. Just if you're listening, I don't know the case, but I'm assuming if you just said he killed her.
Well, listen. Lacey Peterson, there's this case. She was out walking her dog and she went missing or whatever, right? I don't remember if they found her. Then they found she was pregnant, and then they found her body, and her and her unborn son both died or whatever. Okay. Now here's the thing.
Okay.
She went walking her dog. And there was a couple things that happened. One, there's a case about another pregnant woman who was just walking that day, and she said she was being followed, and she ran into a building, and these people chased her in there with guns and stuff, and then she hid, and the business owner protected her or whatever. So conspiracy theory is there was some gang or something that was out to kill a pregnant person. The other theory, though, is that there were robbers robbing the house across the street when Lacey Peterson was walking her dog, and she confronted them. So they think the other thing and the other theory is that these guys, she confronted them and they were like, she knows we have to kill her, right? But then they found out that Scott was having an affair and blah, blah, blah. But there's too much to tell you, Gaspare. I'm sorry. Anyway, but everyone knows Lacey Peterson, but then there's Stacy Peterson, completely unrelated case of this cop who was this guy was in his 50s, and he married a girl who was 18.
What do you even talk about with an 18-year-old?
And then they were trying to get a divorce and shit, and she just comes up missing, right? And right around the same time, his ex-wife was trying to get money from him too, and she turns up dead in her house. And she told people hey, if I die, it was my ex-husband. Just weird shit's happening. If I die, it's him. And then he got caught in conversations too, where he was like, if I killed somebody, I could kill somebody, I could never get, and I wouldn't even get caught. It would be like, blah, 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 blah. This motherfucker did it so well that he staged her drowning, right? But anybody who's watched Little Dateline, you know that if you're going to stage someone's death, I hate that I'm saying this, but if you're going to stage someone's death, they have to die of the cause that you're staging. Example, if you're going to stage that you had a heart attack, I can't strangle you first because during the autopsy, they'll be like, no, he was strangled. He didn't have a heart attack.
Isn't that wild that they could find out?
Wild.
Like,
right. So this guy's a cop, like he knows all this, right? So he staged her drowning in the bathtub, but they found these like impressions on her collarbone. He drowned her ass in the toilet bowl and then put her in the bathtub.
Oh, like leaned into the toilet?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy and sick? People are sick. Oh, he is in jail for that murder. He was convicted of it, and it was a very hard case to solve because they didn't have like hard evidence. But he did go to jail for that. And then while in jail, he tried to put a hit on his attorney, and he got caught because they basically bugged one of the other prisoners and was like, "Hey, tell him your uncle will kill this attorney if he pays you." And he was wired and agreed to it and everything. And I'm like, now you got him on another count of murder for hire. So go back and visit the Stacey Peterson case, because I know this fucking man killed her. And he was a kook, Gas. When they went on the news, they were like outside, like the news. He would go outside and like make jokes with the people and shit.
Yeah, because when they're like acting like they have nothing, nothing to hide. That's like the whole thing, like hide in plain sight.
This is what he said. He was taking a question from this person. He goes, hold on. Everyone, one at a time. This other person started talking. She's like, no, I'm going to go with this one first. She's prettier than you. Like a fucking kook nut job.
I got to look at him. Stacey Peterson?
Stacey Peterson. I forgot what his name was.
I found him. Oh.
He's just a douche.
Creepy looking.
Apparently when he like introduced her to his kids, he was like, yeah, I'm dating a younger woman. And then they met and he was like, yeah, she's like my age. They were like 18.
She was his fourth wife.
I know. Crazy, right?
This guy just loves love.
No.
Speaking of love.
A narcissist.
Speaking of love.
You too could find love on Hinge. Today's episode is brought to you by Hinge. It's actually not. This is a joke.
What do you call
that was so crazy, Gaspare. Speaking of killing your wife, that was nuts.
That guy could use better help.
Fully.
I did watch the
Ashley Madison. Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay. So here's the crazy part. Ashley Madison came out in like 2005. For those of you who don't know, Ashley Madison was a website for people who were married to go on and meet other people who were married and then have an affair together, because like it was the whole like, oh, they won't talk because they're married and you won't talk because you're married, and everybody can meet and be harmonious. The thing, it was free for the women, but the men had to pay. But what's crazy is the men had to pay like per message. So like if you like,
but the women did not.
The women were free, but if you met someone, you'd have to like pay per message. So like if she's like, hey, let's meet up, what are you gonna do? Not answer? Like you're on the site for that. At the height of the site, they had 38 million members. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
38. And like the owner of the website was like, hey, people are going to cheat anyway. Might as well capitalize on it. Like, might as well turn into a business. And he's like, I'm not doing it. And he used his wife for all the promos. His wife was like on the billboards. Then they started making, like, their slogan was like, life's short, have an affair.
Have an affair.
And what's crazy is like, this came out in 2005. I don't even remember internet in 2005. Like, and people were trusting putting their credit card on the internet.
You don't even do Amazon.
That's what I'm saying. And this was in 2005.
Yes. Okay, you guys, quick segue. You guys, I found these really cool microphones online. I sent him to Gaspar, and he goes, great, send him to my wife. And I was like, why? Oh, yeah, because you won't put your credit card on the internet.
My friggin' pressure washer broke. I have a friggin' pressure
Power washer? Mine broke too.
My hose snapped in half.
My hose snapped in half too.
Yeah, so I need a new one. So
what brand was yours? Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ryobi. Okay.
Oh, no. So this podcast is not sponsored by Greenworks.
By Greenworks or Ryobi.
The hose broke, so I said to Melissa, I go, I need a new hose. She goes, okay, go buy one. I found it on Amazon. I sent it to her. She goes, order it yourself. So I Venmo'd her $27 because it was $27. I go, please just order it. There's the money. She's like, it's not about the money. She's like, just order it. Anyway.
Yes, I do love you to death. Honestly, I do. You are fucking hopeless sometimes. You guys, yesterday, like literally, you're a lost child in a fun house. We had to get a clip up yesterday, you guys.
No.
Hold your ass. Hold your ass. Hold your ass. We had to get a clip up. Gaspar goes, I can't find it. Probably 8 hours later, he sends the clip to the group message between us and our editor. And there's still a watermark from Instagram Reels on it. I go, yo, Gas, here's the website that you can use to download this without the watermark. Seconds later, he's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's asking me for my credit card. I have to pay to do it. Literally, Gaspar, how many fucking seconds later did I text it back to you without the watermark?
But did you must have put your credit card on some point.
Sure fucking didn't. You just didn't look around. I've never paid for that.
I literally, I put it in.
I cannot handle you
link.
today.
I put the link. It said download. I clicked download. Then it said credit card, swipe for credit card. I was like, hell no. I deleted everything, all cookies. I cleared my cache.
I guarantee you were clicking the fake ads instead of what you actually need to be.
That's why I don't do
clicking.
Websites like that.
Well, that's because you literally are navigating through the internet at the same capacity of a geriatric clinic. Like, it's unreal.
Either way, I wasn't paying. And then I'm glad you were able to fix it. So thank you.
You guys, also, Gaspar's in charge of the podcast until the wedding's over. So if anything goes awry in the next couple episodes, you know where to send your messages.
It's also, I
have faith in you. You're great.
Yeah, it's
you guys, and then you guys, before we started this podcast, Gaspar's like, we got to do this and this and this and this. And I was like, Gaspar, you're in charge. We're starting now. Just
anyway. So Ashley Madison's running this website, and then all of a sudden they all go into work, and there's a message on the computer, and it's like, attention, you are being hacked. You have 30 days to shut down Ashley Madison completely, or we release all the database into the internet. And the owner's like, get the fuck out. That ain't going to happen. No one's going to do it. Everyone's like, we've been lying about our security. They straight up admitted that they lied. Like, they just put a thing that said secure and trusted, like full 100% discreet. And they just added those badges to their website. So like, they were like, dude, we actually probably are being hacked. And he's like, nah, we're fine. The hackers didn't want money. They didn't want anything. They wanted the website shut down. That was it. And they hired these like European hackers who could find the hacker. And are you going to watch? I don't want to give it away. But,
no, I'm not going to watch.
I mean, actually, I'm not giving it away because this is a public story. So the
What's
website.
in your hand?
Oh, that was glitter. I'll explain in a minute. They were making $100 million a year. Oh yeah, that was for Pride.
Wait,
what was it?
Who
when
was
I send you
happy
birthday gay people?
Yeah. June 1st, Gaspar sends me happy birthday, gay people.
No. A company put that up. I didn't send you that. It was a piece of paper on the door of a business.
I got so much Pride shit to tell you. Keep going.
Yeah, we're never gonna get through this episode. So long story short, basically the guy was making $100 million a year with the company, and then in the end, he's like, "I'm not shutting down the website." And the hacker released all the data, and like people committed suicide.
People committed sue.
Yeah, well, because, they were like caught on this website and, and they released everything, all the messages from the website. Then like people were like, they were opening websites that were like, type in your spouse's name and we'll tell you if he was in the data breach, because there was 38 million names dropped. So like, how could you look through it all? So this was like, here's what they said, here's what they spent. And like all these people, were whatever. And then it turned out that they weren't even talking to real women. They were using AI chatbots for the women. Like, cause like so many men signed up. They had too many men, not enough women. So they just created all these fake women and they weren't even meeting up with the women. They were just talking to them.
But not all of them. Some people.
Some people met up, of course. But like there was a lot of women on there that weren't even real women. They were just using AI chat features. And this and it just got leaked. And they still to this day never found out why it was done, who did it. It was just a purely hey, like shut this down. You're a scumbag. And that was it. And guess what? The website's still running today and has 60 million members today.
Still running.
Because you know what probably happened? They probably used this as oh, fuck. But now we fixed it. Now we really are secure. Now we really have like,
That's wild.
Like security.
That is truly wild.
All right, wait, what'd you have to say? And then I'll tell you about the glitter because I'm in a situation right now.
So I was in Pittsburgh with Todd Youngman this weekend. Shout out Todd Youngman, one of my features. Go follow him. Very funny. Todd killed it, by the like Gaspare. Like
I believe
killed it. It was so good. And I
was actually talking to Todd today because Todd's a really good guy. If you guys want to follow someone who's just a good guy, Todd Youngman Comedy, I believe his Instagram is. But Todd does a program where he works with like kids with special needs and helps them to do stand-up comedy just to like get a voice. And
he does another one with people with cancer too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And he's
better than
someone I know was trying to do something similar to that with autistic kids to help them find their voice through comedy. So I was like, oh, I have a friend who does something similar. And I hooked them up and Todd's been talking to him all day, helping them. So shout out to Todd for being a good person.
Shout out Todd. So Todd's friend, who's now my friend, George, who was at the show too. So it's me, Todd, and George. And we're walking around downtown Pittsburgh. Also, shout out Pittsburgh. Great shows. Great. Next time you see me perform, you're going to be like, who the fuck is this?
I saw your little Sophie Loren act was standing at the microphone. You might as well have been smoking a cigarette.
When did you see that?
No, on Instagram. It was just funny. It was just a picture someone posted.
What's funny is I did a photo shoot at the comedy club and I have a glass of wine and not a cigarette, but a carrot. So it's funny. Anyway, so we do the shows and then during the day, we're just like fucking around downtown. Pittsburgh had immediately next to each other Pride and a Kenny Chesney concert. It was fucking wild. I was like, whoever planned this, terrible timing. Because on one side, it's Pride and all of that's going on. And then you literally turn your face and it's like MAGA signs, all these like guns signs and like stuff like that. And I was just like, this is wild. I was like, something's gonna go down. And then we looked like deep into the crowd of the Kenny Chesney concert and there was like one rainbow flag and Todd was like, look, Joe, there's hope.
That guy's the beacon of hope.
So I got to talk to you about Pride. Not the Pride that I was at this weekend because we ended up just getting lost and we didn't want to cross this river, so we didn't end up going down there. Pride's not what it was when I was first going to Pride when I was like 18, 19, 20. It is totally changed. And I got to be honest, it's a bit of a fucking shit show. And I went to Pride last year and I was like, you know what? I think I'm too old for this shit. Like, hey, go out there, let your shit hang out, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, like I see a lot of pictures, people just like naked and.
Yeah, like be who you are, do whatever the fuck you want. But I was there just watching so much belligerent drunk people just stumble down the street in a jock strap and shit. And although that's not what Pride is, it's a sector of Pride, like shit goes down or whatever. And I was just like, I'm not, you know what? I am in this phase of life where this is so fucking ridiculous. I'd rather redecorate a room in my house or
Well, it's
do
like
lawn
going to
work.
like New Orleans now, like now,
Yeah,
like
if
as
somebody
like,
was like, let's go to Mardi Gras, I'd be like, I'll go to Mardi Gras. If it's at somebody's home and I have access nonstop to a bathroom and we're like partying on the lawn, and then like Mardi Gras comes by and we're like, yay, yay, yay. I'm
yeah,
not going into a fucking mosh pit of doom of drunken debauchery of beads and titties. First of all, titties. Second of all, I don't
being.
need to be surrounded by all. It's just how I feel.
No, I'm with you. I'm with
Do
you.
you, the older you get, do you feel unsafe in crowds?
It's just a different feeling completely. Like I don't enjoy it. Like I don't
Me
enjoy.
either.
It's so funny because like people would look and say like our life is kind of in a crowd, but it's very different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like after a show and you're talking to everybody, that's very different than like I hate going to like a sporting event now in person
I
or
kind
like
of do
a
too.
concert where like
Yeah.
everyone's just on top of you and like I don't know. I hated it when I was a kid. So I remember I saw Bullet for My Valentine. Remember them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we were front row, and like it was just like we were just getting like railed into the friggin' guardrail,
No.
and then like people kept coming over us, like crowd surfing, and I was like, "Get me the fuck out of this!" Like I hated
Yeah.
being there.
I
Like
did like it when I was younger,
no, I
but now
never
no.
really liked it.
Like a few prides ago, one of my friends was like, come on, I got a better spot for us to go. And like weaseled our way all the way up front. I literally looked at everyone and I said, bye. No,
Yeah, no,
I went all the way in the back where there was room and I could have a drink and hear my friends. I don't want to be in this fucking gross. And then also, someone asked me to go to Coachella this year. I literally looked at them and said, get fucked. If you think that I'm going to stand out there in the desert heat as the wind slaps into my face and I get eyes full of sand
Also,
listening to
don't they
some
like
concert where I
starve?
go deaf. Yeah, and the food's like $65 for like a thing of fries. I'm like, get fucked. Now get back to me when you want to go to an all-inclusive resort with a nice pool and a bartender who's going to come around and keep me well hydrated. That, now we're talking.
Also, don't like Coachella like run out of food though. Isn't that like the whole thing? Like people were like starving. They had to like send in aid to like help them. Was that Coachella?
Firefest?
No, that's a whole different debauchery.
Oh no, it was Burning Man, which is a
Oh,
whole nother level
well, yeah,
of
that's
fucking chaos. And if you talk to anybody if you've been to Burning
my
Man
brother
before,
went.
shut the fuck up,
My,
Joe.
I only have one. My brother
I'm gonna
went like
text him.
a few years in a row.
Listen, Burning Man, if you guys have been to Burning Man, write us in the YouTube
Should we
comments right
call
now.
him?
Kind of. Yeah. And here's what I'm going to tell you too. Before you call him, get ready to call him. Because talk to anybody who's been to Burning Man, and I could be like, that looks like the biggest hodgepodge moment of fuckery I've ever seen in my life. They will defend it till the day is done. Burning Man people are like, our neighbor across the street goes to Burning Man every year, and I'm like, couldn't fucking pay me, bro, to be stranded in the middle of the desert watching these statues catch on fire as everyone's dongs are just flopping around. That might not be
And
the worst thing,
I
but
actually think, I actually think my brother, even if I remember correctly, he like hitchhiked there.
that's like, this is the shit that goes down. There's no currency. You have to like barter for shit. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to play a 2024 Oregon Trail. Okay. I'm not doing it.
Wait, I do have to tell you one more thing.
Please.
I'm in a predicament, right? So my son had a chess tournament this week, and while he was at the chess tournament, it was held in this like elementary school basement, right? So while
Yeah.
I was there was an elementary school classroom. So I was like, oh, let me just go in. I was playing with Lucy in the classroom, and I go, oh, why don't I just film a quick video? But I didn't really have any idea of what I was gonna film. So I just put the camera on me and I just did random things around the room. And I was like, I'll use it for something. I always find a way to make content with something. So I was like, what am I going to do with this stupid video of me just standing in front of an elementary school classroom? So I wrote breaking news on top and I wrote, I'm leaving high school to teach elementary. Didn't think anything of it, right? I swear, Joe, I was like, this video will do okay, whatever. People will be like, oh, no way. posted it. Watched one episode of Ashley Madison with Melissa, right? 50 minutes, the episode was, I opened my phone, the video had 90,000 views. I go,
is that big for you?
That's big for me. Hell yeah. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's great.
On average, a video will get 40,000 views. A good video will get 75,000. A great video will get like 150,000, right?
And for those of you guys who don't do this, which I'm guessing is most of you, Gaspare and I have talked about this time and time again. You can put your heart and soul into a video, put money into it, block out time in your day, pay an editor to make it perfect, costume friends, like literally everything. And it will get 17 views. You open your phone, spit some fucking garbage into the camera, don't caption it, look like shit, horrible lighting, boom, massively viral. Did I ever tell you too that the spelling test video that I filmed, I literally just popped my phone up on a cup, pressed record, stopped it, and posted it? That's it.
And like, and you know what? If you would have put captions, it wouldn't have did well, probably. Well, but when you posted it, that wasn't even a thing.
Exactly. And at the worst time too, 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. It was 6 o'clock in the morning Pacific. Anyway, keep going. So what?
So I'm like, dude, it was so crazy that so first off, I had like 300 comments and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and like everything was maxed out. Like my followers were maxed out. My likes were maxed out. My comments were maxed, on the top, like everything just read 99 plus. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, no freaking way. So I'm like, there's no way but Joe, people were like, you're not leaving. Oh my God, it must be true. He's in an elementary school classroom. He's decorating, like all this stuff. Then I open my messages, so many people, and this is a credit to how nice people are, but they're like, hey, if you're coming to third grade, here's the curriculum.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I can Google Drive it to you. So I didn't have the heart to tell these people that
is so sweet.
So I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I was like, I can't tell them now. So I was like, so then all of a sudden Melissa's getting messages.
Shut the hell up.
My school calls me in the next day.
Shut the fuck up, Gas.
Swear, are you leaving? I'm like, no, it was a joke. And then Lucy's school class dojoed us to say, hey, we just saw, is Gaspare really leaving? My son's school. So now we're like, oh my God. So Melissa's like,
I love that you said class dojoed us as a verb.
So then
class dojoed us.
Melissa's
that is
like,
so fucking funny, Gaspare.
Melissa's like, all right. So I was like, all right, I got one more video and then I'm going to move on. So Joe, I took this glitter, right? And I lined it up on the table like this. Look, I was like, hey guys, I'm really stressed out about going to elementary, but there's things that can help me. And I went like this and I put glitter and I took a credit card, and I made like a line, like it was like a line of glitter cocaine, and I snorted it. And I was like,
did you make it as a video?
Wait. So I made it as a video. I bring it to my friends first and I showed it and they were like, funniest video you ever made. You cannot post it.
Yes, you can, please.
So they were like, you can't post it because my students literally watch everything because they're always like, oh, I heard you're going to elementary next year. My friend Kim that I always tell you about, she was like, she has a 16-year-old daughter. She's like, if my daughter was your student and my daughter was like, oh, my teacher, and Kim is not at all like prudish at all about anything. She's like, I'd feel some type of way if my daughter was like, oh, my teacher's pretending to snort cocaine, from a parent perspective, like if these kids show their parents like, hey, my teacher's pretending to snort cocaine. I was like, but Kim, if I get brought into the office, they're going to be like, were you snorting glitter? And I'm going to be like, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know. I could just say, I don't, I ran it by a bunch of people. And
Gaspare,
like,
it's so funny. I 100% understand what they're saying.
I do too.
Do you care?
I do, because that could get me in oh, this guy's on the internet, fake snorting cocaine. I'm not gonna,
text it to me. I need to see it.
No, I'll just show it. So I'm talking about the stresses of the job. And then I'm like, I keep delaying it. And then I snort it and I'm
wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying I'm really stressed out about taking the job. And then I was like, but I know what can help. And I snort glitter. I had glitter up my nose. I was literally choking on the glitter. So I go to work the next day.
I think the video, what you just showed me, it's just a little not clear enough that it's glitter. But anyway.
Oh no, it's clear. The beginning of the video,
Based
I'm
on what
laying it
you're
out.
saying. Oh, you are.
Yeah. In the beginning of the video, I'm
right.
laying it out. So then I was like, all right, let me just put it in a glass and like mix it and then take a shot of it. So whatever. Then that video hit 100,000 views and I'm like, these aren't even funny. So now I need to I didn't make it yet. Hopefully by the time this episode comes out, I'll come clean. But people are genuinely like sending me like their life's work. And I'm getting so many messages about elementary and I have to come clean somehow. But I did make another video and 2 more and then I'm going to come clean.
Do not come clean.
What, you think I should just leave? Well, if you're a podcast listener, I'm not going to elementary, but should I not come clean and just leave people hanging thinking I'm going to elementary and then eventually just be like, oh, never mind. I thought I was. I decided not to.
Right.
Because I was thinking of this, making a press. Hey guys, I'm going to let you in on Monday, 7 p.m. I'm going to tell you where I'm going, what grade I'm teaching, because everybody's guessing what grade I'm teaching.
Sure, yeah.
And then I'll be like, and then I'm going to sit at this and be like, hey guys, so at the end of the summer, I will be, and then I'm just going to post my tour schedule.
Yes, and that sounds good.
And then that'll be.
Gaspare, that's insane.
Joe, I just realized what happened to your eye?
You didn't see on my Instagram?
If I ever open it during when I'm at work, I can't hear anything. So, and sometimes I can't read it. So probably not.
Oh, okay.
So I see that you post stuff. You care about everything I post?
I was actually surprised that you didn't text me to see if I was okay.
I didn't even know it. Why didn't you text me to ask me if I was going to elementary school?
I did. I wrote on your video actually. And I knew your little ass was kidding. Immediately.
Well, 150,000 people don't think I am.
I forgot what I wrote, but I wrote, actually, this
would be chaos or something like that. Because a whole bunch of people are like,
I think your chaos I think you would thrive in that type of chaos.
Oh, I think I would be a great elementary school teacher.
I know you'd be the best elementary school teacher. Actually, Gaspare, you would love it.
I would. Dude, you know what happens at baseball every week? Do you know?
They all talk to you.
I take all the kids. So there's the kids on the team and then there's their little siblings. Usually Melissa and I always go to the games together where a lot of parents are there by themselves. So they're always chasing around their kids and they miss the game. So what I do is I take all the children and I just let them play and I watch them all. And then when my son's up at bat, I go to the fence and I watch him play. So this way everyone doesn't have to watch all their kids. I just watch all the kids because I'm already with Lucy anyway. So it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? What's 5 more kids? So I just let them run around. I hang out with all the kids. They all beat me up. I blow bubbles with them. And then I watch my son. I'm like, yeah, go. All the parents, they call me the Pied Piper. They're like, my kid listens so well to you. I'm like, I just let them do whatever the hell they want. I don't give a damn.
Right. That's funny.
I'm literally letting them throw rocks at each other. So, but all right. So, guy, what happened to your eye? I'm concerned. I hope you're okay.
I was in a CVS, and have you seen these mass robberies that are happening where people come in and they just don't give a fuck and they're just taking a bunch of shit and then they run out?
With 30 people, those ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fucking standing there and it starts happening to me in front of a CVS. And I can't stop running my mouth. So I literally looked and I was watching everyone do this and I go, this fucking shit is real. Boom, elbow to the eye.
What?
Immediately. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay.
Wait, so you were assaulted?
Yeah, pretty much. And then I went to CVS. I was like, should we do something about this? They're like, what do you want to do?
They made you pay for your goods?
I didn't end up buying anything. I was just startled and I need to be done with this. So I just left.
When did this happen?
2 days ago.
Where? You were in Pittsburgh?
In Seattle.
Oh shit, I'm sorry that happened to you.
No, it's okay.
That's
I'm also
traumatic.
lying.
Oh, you're a piece of shit. I
was
fucking
good,
hate
though.
you. Look at me. I was so genuinely concerned for your health.
Genuine.
I actually
know.
felt really bad because that's like something traumatic.
And it sounded super true given the times.
So what happened? Because, one time I was in CVS, we went to see a Broadway play, and Melissa and I
Of
standing
course, he has a
online.
story about my fake story.
No, it's nothing like that. We were just standing online.
Anything could trigger you into a story. I could literally right now say dandelions, and you'd be like, you know what's crazy?
Lucy
This
just
one
ate a
time
whole
I was
bunch
eating
of them.
she shit out whole dandelions. It was fucking crazy.
But Melissa and I was standing online buying fucking $8 Sour Patches, and this guy just walked in with a garbage bag, and he's straight up just shoveling stuff in the bag. And security's like, yo, come on, man, don't do that. And the guy just took it and walked right out. And I looked at the security guard, he goes, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, what fucking suckers we are standing here getting ready to pay. Like
I think about it all the time.
Why do I not just take the Sour Patches and go, fuck you, and walk right out the door? And then I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm not a piece of shit.
Because I'm not a piece of shit. That's why. It happens at the grocery store here all the time. And they're like, hey, you didn't pay for that. And they're like, I know. I watched it happen the other day. And she's like, hey, you have a bunch of wine in your bag. Are you going to pay for that? And he's like, no. And she's like, you're not going to pay for that? He's like, no. And just kept going. They were like, okay.
Yeah, it's fucked up. All right. So what really happened? If you tell me some lame ass story now that like math jumped and hit your face with
I walked into a door.
Shocker.
I actually didn't walk into a door.
All right. I don't care anymore. Don't tell me the story.
The truth is, this is the aftermath of my vampire facial. I had my third and final treatment.
I was just talking about this to somebody at work today
about
your vampire facial.
You know what's so funny? The first 2 times I didn't bruise at all. And then this time I look like I got beat up in a CVS at a mass robbery. Yeah, it's just a tiny little bruise.
Yeah, but your wedding's in like 10 days.
Oh my God, wedding's in 3 weeks. This will be gone by Monday.
Your wedding is not in 3 weeks. It's in 16 days, 17 days. Isn't that wild? You're going to be married in 17 days.
What if I have this bruise on my fucking face? It won't be there in 2 weeks, Gaspar.
And you're going to wear makeup, right?
Wait, it's June 4th, Gaspar.
Yeah, you're getting married. I don't want to say the date.
4th. I'm pretty sure at this. Just maybe not yet.
Yeah, it's 17. Well, we just said it's fucking June 4th and now
hopefully they can't do math. Anyway, that's crazy. Let's do one wedding email before we end.
Sorry about this, guys. This was actually an emails only episode.
It was. This was an email only episode. Okay, Gaspar, do you want to read? They in fact did not follow directions. Do you want to read Grandma Takes Drugs Before the Reading, or do you want to read Snowstorms, Floods, and a Missing Best Man?
Oof. Let's do Grandma's on Drugs.
Same page, brother. Joe and Gaspar, full disclosure, I am not opposed to taking drugs before a wedding. That's my fucking girl right there. However, with all the fraught nerves on my own wedding day, I was not ready for my grandma to do so. Just as I was getting sewn into my mom's wedding dress, hand-me-down, of course, due to a button popping off, we got a call from my aunt who was about to drive Grandma over from the hotel. She told us not to panic, but Grandma took Grandpa's medication accidentally in place of her own. One of my first thoughts was, well, at least it wasn't her diamond earrings, which she once swallowed in place of her medication. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Grandma's wild.
Do you think they sifted through her poop?
Would you? Would it come out?
Would you?
Oh, if it was real diamonds, yeah.
You would sift through your feces?
Well,
I guess so. If it's real diamonds,
You're talking about, like, let's say a $10,000 ring. You're gonna just leave it.
$14,000. That's crazy.
Would you flush $10,000 in a toilet bowl?
I'm with you, actually.
For the record, you're not sifting through the poo. You're scooping it out and you're just chopping away at it.
Too much. Enough.
Or you spray it with a hose.
Enough.
That's Pate.
So what, are you going to shit in your driveway and then spray it with the hose to fucking break it up?
in the bag.
You are truly a different breed of human. My aunt said that she seemed all right so far and asked if I wanted her to read her reading during the ceremony as we had planned. Although, looking back now and remembering that my grandpa was on pretty hefty doses of anxiety medicines on top of who knows what else, this Saturday morning cocktail, we decided just to roll the dice. There, Rich and I stood under the sweet floral arbor my mom grew for us. Grew for you? That's awesome.
You heard that, friend?
Seriously. And when the time came for my grandma, my dad walked her down the aisle looking like a hot mess zombie, but with a big old sappy smile on her face. She got through the first few lines and was assisted back to her seat where she proceeded to melt into the flow of whatever trip she was on. Honestly, she probably looked a lot like other people's grandmas on that day. I'm just glad that I didn't get in some inner monologue out of her while she was relaxed up at that mic. Can't wait to hear some of the unplanned stories from Joe's wedding. And I am so pumped to see Gaspare in Cincinnati. That's Gaspare. I also need to make a note for my photographer to take pictures of us together at the wedding.
Oh, yeah. We got to do a quick photo shoot for the podcast.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of, thank you. I can't wait to see you in Cincinnati as well. Joe, speaking of, my suit fits.
Hell yeah.
I did some sit-ups and I only drank water. I've been eating a lot of, your wedding is inspiring me to get healthy. I've been eating plant-based lunches.
That's what's up. Very nice.
Like nuts. I just eat nuts, like walnuts, almond, pecans, candied, of course, sesame seeds. I literally am eating a plate of bird food, chickpeas and some lettuce and an olive, like a bunch of olives.
That's crazy. Can we read one more really quick? So the backstory to this is my husband and I did an elopement/mini wedding where we planned it in 2 weeks due to a family member being terminally ill. That's a whole story for planning a ceremony and reception for 70-ish people in 14 days. But the real story is 24 hours leading up to our wedding. That was a comedy of errors. First off, we live in Minnesota. And for those who don't know, we get the worst weather in the winter and our spring doesn't really exist. The day before our wedding, we noticed the weather radar had some really gnarly storms, but didn't think much of it as my now husband woken up with a horrific cold and we were trying to figure out how to make that go away in less than a day, which didn't really work. And he had snot dripping down his nose during the wedding ceremony, which kept me from crying because actually it was hilarious. Now, fast forward to dinner time and a healthy amount of snow was accumulating. We get a call that our best man's flight was canceled. He's adamant that his rebooking with this budget airline will take off the next day, but I knew better and offered my Delta frequent flyer miles for him to get on a different flight. He insists that he'll be there right before photos, and we hang up thinking that he's going to be there on time. A half hour later, I get back to the house that I'm renting from a friend. My room was in the basement, and I take one step of the stairs, and it's wet, not just damp, but my socks are soaked, sopping wet. I realized that the basement has flooded and call my roommate, the homeowner, to ask what we can do to fix it I'm simultaneously panicking and trying to carry my things upstairs away from the water without absolutely ruining my spray tan that I had just gotten because a ruined spray tan clearly would be the worst of my problems here. I will call out the only corner not touched by the flood was the corner with our marriage license and my wedding shoes. Oh shit, I gotta apply for my marriage license. That just reminded me. Fuck. Okay, hopefully that can come in 14 days. Jesus Christ.
You'll be fine.
The next morning, I wake up and learn that the best man's flight is canceled. 0 flights at the airport are going to make it for any part of the day due to a foot of snow that we received. Then I get a call from the maid of honor letting me know that she's completely snowed and likely will miss getting ready with me, which was tough given that one of our other bridesmaids was dealing with a flood at her house and had to miss getting ready also due to insurance calls and ripping up her basement floor. My husband spent the morning shoveling both his groommen, who were in town cars, to no avail, and finally gave up and borrowed his dad's truck to get everyone to the church. This is insane. I would
They
just
wrote
be
an
like,
email
fuck
here.
it. Wait, I will see you guys in June in Bora Bora. Like, this is insane. We could quickly rearrange our already tiny bridal party to cover the missing best man, and my dog ended up stealing the show as last-minute prompted groomsmen, which was a total slay, and thankfully both bridesmaids who were delayed ended up making it. Go. Thank God. Flash forward to the small reception at a distillery, and I'd given the newly promoted best man one job earlier that day. Make sure the groomsmen didn't say anything inappropriate during their speeches. Unfortunately, the wildcard groomsman had 6 too many gin and tonics in the first hour of the open bar and weaseled his way into stealing the mic and telling a myriad of inappropriate stories during this time, and no one was able to cut him off. It was truly the most chaotic day I've ever experienced, but at the same time, all I remember is how happy I was and how perfect it all felt. I always tell people that things can and will go wrong at your wedding. It's a choice to let it ruin it for you. A wedding is a day, but marriage is a lifetime. And at the end of the day, you're marrying a person that you love. Thanks for letting me share. That was so sweet. I'm kind of excited for what goes wrong now. I know it's going to be something dealing with you.
No, it's not at all. Why would it be something dealing with me? I'm the easiest.
Are you going to go to the after party?
Obviously. What is it?
Well, you're coming in that day and you have to leave early the next morning. Morgan's like, do you really think Gaspar's going to come? I was like, fucking yes.
What else am I doing? I'm in Seattle. The after party's after the wedding?
Yeah. So it starts at midnight. But the after party's going to be fucking so cool. I can't wait till after the wedding so I can tell everybody about it. This place is so cool. I might even be more excited for the after party.
Is it at a place near the place where we're going to be?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be there. What else am I doing? It doesn't freaking matter to me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know you. You'll just like rally and it'll be fine.
There's no rallying. I don't care. I'm not tired. I don't get tired.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning into the Social Studies Podcast. As always, become a Patreon member for some more perks and some bonus episodes at patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And also watch us on YouTube. You don't have to just listen. You can see our stupid faces do this thing every week. And again, come see me live on the road at thejoedombrowski.com for your tickets. We'll see you soon.
And you can see me at GaspareRandazzo.com. Bye, guys.
Bye.